yeah, that steering is not normal. This is very obviously broken. My right, but the left tire, if you were sitting on the tractor, is actually still hooked up and working properly. It is my right side that is currently broken. And it is because of a really poor design that Craftsman did on the YT 4000 24 horse 46-inch cut tractor. I'll show you here in a second. Let me crawl underneath and show you what it is about this poor design that has made it so hard to fix. Okay, you can see next to the tire where right here is still hooked up properly, but the rod that connects the very same arm or part to the rest of the tractor is actually this replacement part right here that I have partially attached going back on up into the tractor and then back over to the front here, and I can show you how to finish that off in a few minutes. But one thing I really want to stress and point out, if you have the same kind of mower, don't make the same mistake I did. When you crawl up under here and you start looking, you see just this groove right here, and you think, oh geez, that's the only place I could put a wrench, and it's really a big pain in the butt, and it was a giant pain in the butt when I tried doing it this way, taking it off. And only then did I realize that if I went up and above here, felt a little bit of a dummy, I can indeed fit a socket on the top side of this part. So this would have made my life getting it off a little bit easier. Unfortunately, I wasn't that smart at the time. Luckily, I'm figuring that out now, putting it back on. So hopefully this makes life a little bit easier for someone else who made the same little silly mistake of not looking up in here for repair options. And then at this end in the front, when you finish putting it on in the back, you can see right here is the hole that this would match up with. And right now I have the tire moved to make room for myself to put the back most of the way on first. I will then straighten the tire to be pointing in the same direction as the left, reattach here, tighten everything up, and then be good to go again. But this little part, very poorly designed. As I said before, this is moving essentially in a 360 instead of a traditional tie rod that only really goes east and west, not all over the place. This is pretty much a 360, and it strips out really easily. So I'm repairing my right. I anticipate maybe having to repair the left here sometime soon. But I think that they could really come up with a better aftermarket replacement. Unfortunately, they haven't. One other thing I fixed on this mower, if you run into the same problem, is I blasted a spindle right out of this in the mower deck and went to replace that. I hit a rock, blasted it out. And the nice part is this replacement, if you notice, comes with, right here on top, a grease fitting. And the entire assembly, not the pulleys, I did have to buy the new pulleys separate, but the whole spindle assembly comes, and I want to say it's like 25 bucks, the whole thing, and it comes with a grease fitting, which hopefully these will last a lot longer that way. But this was supposed to be mostly about the tie rod end issue here and getting it fixed, and to not make the silly mistake I made of fitting a socket up in there. I should have figured that out the first time. But if you have the same mower and have some of the same problems I have, this is like my second big problem with it. First big one was when I blasted the spindles right out of it. And if you do, go on Amazon and find this grease fitting style spindle replacement. It is worth its weight in gold. I really love it. And unfortunately, that was actually less expensive. It was like 25 bucks than the $30 hunk of metal here to replace the steering piece. They really got me for the part. Feel free to comment on the video if you have any questions. Hopefully I can help you out.